Good morning, my dear 9th standard students. We are in Unit 22, World of Microbes lesson. Today, I am going to explain you about diseases which are transmitted by animals. First, let's discuss about swine flu. The swine flu, first time it originated from pigs. It is caused by virus that affects pigs and has started infecting the humans. The various diseases which are affecting us are because of animals only. Most of the time, the diseases come from the animals. This is one example. Swine flu is one example which is coming from pig. The virus, first time it affected the pigs, and from the pig it has started to infect the human also. This virus spreads through air. Since it is spreading through air, it affects the respiratory system. This is caused by influenza virus H1N1. This virus H1N1, influenza virus H1N1, has been identified as a cause of this disease. It is transmitted from person to person by inhalation or ingestion of droplets containing virus from people sneezing or coughing. Naturally, this respiratory system gets affected only because of the mucus or droplets which are coming out from the affected people through sneezing or coughing. So one thing you have to remember, what is the cause of this what is the cause of the swine flu? Influenza virus H1N1. And next, let's see the symptoms of this disease. Fever, cough, nasal secretion, fatigue. The body seems to be very fatigue, tired, headache, sore throat. Not only that, rashes can be found over the body ache or pain, chills, nausea, feels like vomiting, that is nausea, and diarrhea, and also shortness of breath. So these are all the symptoms if a person gets affected by swine flu. How can we prevent? How can we protect us from this disease? Administration of nasal spray vaccine. Vaccine can protect you from kind of diseases. Vaccine is available for swine flu. Avoid close contact with the person suffering from flu. Intake of water and fruit juices which will prevent you from dehydration. Plenty of rest will help the body to fight infection. Always wash hands and practice good hygiene methods so that you can prevent yourself from this swine flu disease. So, we have discussed about swine flu. This first time it originated from pig. What is the causative agent here? Influenza virus H1N1. And then, what are the symptoms and how to prevent from this disease? All this we have seen so far. Swine flu first surfaced in April 2009 and affected millions of people. Then in June 2009, it was declared as a pandemic by the World Health Organization. You know what is pandemic? Worldwide it has spread. In 2015, India reportedly had over 31,000 people infected and 1,900 resulting in death. These are all some additional information you should know. Then next we are going to see about avian influenza. Avian influenza is a contagious bird disease. Contagious in the sense it can spread from one person to other person. Here it is spreading from bird. It is also caused by virus. Birds that can carry and spread avian influenza virus include poultry. Poultry, example chickens, turkey or ducks. Not only that, wild birds and even pet birds. So if birds are affected, that will easily affect the human beings. It is caused by influenza virus H5N1. Already we saw swine flu, the causative agent is influenza virus H1N1. Here for avian influenza, influenza virus H5N1. Don't confuse with this. Here the incubation period of this virus is about 2 to 7 days. Once this virus has got entry into the body means it goes inside the body and develops. It multiplies and grows and affects the cells. Only then symptoms will be shown outside. For that it takes how many days? 2 to 7 days. People who have close contact with infected birds will get this kind of diseases. Surfaces that have been contaminated by bird secretion from mouth, eyes, mucus, etc. The nasal secretion or droppings from the bird feces. This also transmit these diseases. Very quickly it will contaminate others by these ways. Then symptoms. If a person is affected by this disease, avian influenza disease, following are the symptoms: fever, cough, sore throat, running nose, muscle and body pain, fatigue, tiredness, headache, redness of eye. This disease is called conjunctivitis. Then difficulty in breathing also. So these are the symptoms of this avian influenza. How can we prevent and control this disease? Avoiding open air markets where infected birds are sold. Avoiding contact with infected birds or consumption of infected poultry. Proper cleaning and cooking of the poultry. It's better to avoid this poultry because birds are very soon affected by this kind of virus. Especially during the rainy season, it's good to avoid poultry. The avian influenza virus H5N1 emerged in the year 1996. It was first identified in southern China and Hong Kong. H5N1 virus was first discovered in humans in the year of 1997 by World Health Organization, and the first outbreak was in December 2003. Next, we are going to see about sexually transmitted diseases. The diseases transmitted by animals we discussed so far: swine flu and avian influenza. Swine flu is spreading by the animal, started from pig. Secondly, we saw avian influenza, that is from poultry. Now, we are going to see sexually transmitted diseases. This kind of diseases will spread from one person to other person through the sexual contact. Let's see what are they. Some pathogens are transmitted by sexual contact from one partner to another. and not by casual physical contact. Only because of sexual intercourse this disease will spread, not by physical touching. A few sexually transmitted diseases are AIDS, gonorrhea, genital wart, genital herpes and syphilis. Let's see what it is. First, gonorrhea. The causative organism is Neisseria gonorrhea. The mode of transmission, sexual contact. Which organ is affected? Urethra is affected. You can see urethra in the picture. Urethra is affected. What are the symptoms? Discharge from the genital openings and also pain during the urination. And next, syphilis. The causative organism is Treponema pallidum. The mode of transmission, sexual contact. Which organ is affected? Minute abrasion on the skin or mucosa of genital area. So here genital area will be affected. A minute abrasion on the skin or of genital area. Symptoms: ulceration on the genitals or skin eruption. Ulceration on the genitals, that is wound in the genital area, and then skin eruption also. Next disease, genital herpes. The causative organism is herpes simplex virus. How do they transmit? Through the sexual contact. This virus make entry through the mucous membrane of the genital region. Here, genital organs of male as well as female individuals are affected. Painful blisters in the mouth, lips, face and also in the genital region. Next disease, genital wart. Here the causative organism is human papilloma virus. This also spreads by sexual contact, skin to skin touch. Here genital areas of male as well as female individuals are affected. Symptom: vaginal discharge, itching, bleeding as well as burning. And next, AIDS. So far we discussed about the sexually transmitted diseases. Gonorrhea, genital wart, genital herpes, syphilis, etc. Now we are going to see about the AIDS. This also comes under sexually transmitted disease only. The full form of AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. That means immunity power will be completely reduced because of the virus. That's why it's named as acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It is caused by retrovirus. This disease AIDS is caused by retrovirus known as human immunodeficiency virus. This virus, if it make entry into the body, it will affect especially the immune system. The virus attacks the white blood cells or else lymphocyte. White blood cells, otherwise we say it as lymphocytes, and weakens the body's immunity or self-defense mechanism. Only this white blood cells fight against the pathogen. That white blood cells are completely affected by this retrovirus. That's why the man becomes incapable of fighting against the pathogens. It is transmitted through sexual contact from infected person to a healthy person. Not only that, blood contact, transfusion of unscreened blood by surgical equipments. Suppose if the needles or syringes are infected, that through that also the healthy person will be affected. Not only that, if a maternal, that is mother, is affected, means definitely the child in the womb also will be affected by AIDS. That is from the infected mother to the fetus. These are the ways the AIDS will transmit from one person to the other. Symptoms of this disease: weight loss, prolonged fever, sweating at night, as well as chronic diarrhea, continuous, that is heavily diarrhea will occur, loose stools. How to prevent? Very important question. How to prevent us from the AIDS? Disposable syringes and needles should be used. Once if it is used, it should be thrown away. The syringes should not be used for others. So a single person has to be injected with a disposable syringe, and that should be immediately thrown away. It should not be used again. Protected and safe sexual contact. Screening of blood before blood transfusion. Avoid shaving blades or razors. People should be educated about AIDS transmission. These are the preventive measures. HIV was first recognized in Hatai, that is in USA, in the year of 1981. In India, the first confirmed evidence of AIDS infection was reported in April 1986 from Tamil Nadu. The AIDS vaccine RV144 trial was conducted in Thailand in 2003 and reports were presented in 2011. These are all additional informations what you should know. Next, let's see about Hepatitis B or serum hepatitis. This also comes under sexual transmitted disease only. It occurs due to the infection of hepatitis B virus. That's why we say it as HBV. The virus damages the liver cells, causing acute inflammation and cirrhosis of liver, swelling of the liver, inflammation as well as swelling of the liver. So hepatitis B, this is caused by hepatitis B virus, which will straight away affect the liver. It is transferred from infected mother to their babies or by sexual contact. It is also transmitted by contact with infected person's secretions such as saliva, sweat, tears, breast milk and blood. Symptoms: fever, loss of appetite, nausea, vomiting. The yellowness of the eyes and skin, light colored stools, itching of the skin, headache and joint pain. How to prevent? Screening of blood donors before blood donation can prevent the transmission. Injection of the drugs to be prevented. Having safe and protected sex. Sharing of razors should be avoided. The hepatitis B vaccine offers excellent protection against HPV, that is hepatitis B virus. The vaccine is safe and highly effective. Next, let's see about immunization. What is immunization? It is a process of developing resistance to infections by administration of antigens or antibodies. These antibodies are given to the body in the form of injection. Naturally, our body has got capacity to produce the antibodies. Even then, this vaccine is helpful in producing the antibodies. Antibodies are nothing but a kind of immune system. These antibodies will boost up the immune system to fight against the pathogens. Inoculation of vaccines into the body to prevent the disease is called as vaccination. One effective way of controlling the spread of infection is to strengthen the host defenses. That means host in a sense to which person the pathogen is living, or if the virus has made an entry into the body, that body is said to be host. This is accomplished by immunization, which is one of the cost-effective weapon of modern medicine. When a large proportion of community is immunized against a disease, the rest of the people in the community are benefited because the disease does not spread. If any kind of disease is spreading, then a vaccine has to be given. Suppose if a large number of, or at least a few number of people are given vaccination, means the other people who are around them can also be safe. That's what is said here. Next, let's see about the vaccines and its types. Vaccines are preparation of living or killed microorganisms or their products used for preventing or treatment of diseases. So, for treatment of diseases or else for prevention of diseases, what is used here? Either living or killed microorganisms are used. So, these vaccines are of two types, live vaccines as well as killed vaccine. Live vaccines are what? They are prepared from living organisms. The pathogen is weakened. The pathogen, microorganism, is weakened and that is administered into the body. It may be a virus or bacteria, whatever may be. This microbe is weakened. The harmness of this microbe is made weaker and then it is administered into the body. Example, BCG vaccine, oral polio vaccine, etc. Killed vaccine means the microorganism, it may be bacteria or virus, already told you. These microorganisms are killed by heat or chemicals and they are called as killed or inactivated vaccine. They require a primary dose followed by subsequent booster doses. First booster, second booster, likewise this vaccination will be given. For example, typhoid vaccine, cholera vaccine, pertussis vaccine. So we have seen two types of vaccine, live vaccine as well as killed vaccine. So vaccine is prepared from what? Only from the microorganism. The process of vaccination was introduced by, important one word, Edward Jenner. So the vaccination was introduced by Edward Jenner. According to the World Health Organization, Jennerian vaccination has eliminated smallpox totally from the human population. So smallpox is totally eradicated. It is completely stopped only because of vaccine. You have to accept that. Louis Pasteur in 18th century, he is a French chemist and also microbiologist in the 18th century. He coined the term vaccine. The Pasteur developed vaccine against chickenpox, cholera, anthrax, etc. Now let's see about the immunization schedule. The World Health Organization in the year of 1970 has given a schedule for the immunization for the children. For vaccination should be continuously under proper interval, it should be given to the child. This schedule is carried out in almost all countries. Even you and me are vaccinated. At a certain interval of time, vaccination is given. That's why we are free from the diseases. Now let's see about the vaccines. BCG, full form Bacillus, Calmette, Guerin. This was prepared by two French workers, Calmette and Guerin, in the year of 1908, between 1908 to 1921. The bacilli, you know, it's bacteria. The bacilli was weakened and used for immunization against tuberculosis, respiratory tract infection, TB. So what is used against this TB? Bacilli. Who prepared this? Calmette and Guerin. Next vaccine, triple vaccine. Why triple vaccine? DPT. So this vaccine is given against diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus. Diphtheria means what you know? Infection in the throat as well as nose. Then pertussis, that is also respiratory tract infection only. Whooping cough we say. Tetanus means a kind of bacterial infection which brings a muscle pain. So for the three kind of diseases, single vaccine. Diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus. Diphtheria D, pertussis P, tetanus T. For all the three diseases together, one single vaccination is given, DPT. Okay. And next, MMR. MMR is an vaccine given against mumps, measles and rubella. It is a kind of viral infection which brings red spots on the body or else inflammation in the parotid gland. So it is caused by what? Virus. It's a viral infection. MMR is a vaccine given against mumps, measles and rubella. That's why MMR. Next, DT. DT is given against diphtheria and tetanus. Diphtheria is a problem. It's an infection in the throat and the nose. Tetanus, bacterial infection, which brings the muscle pain. So, against diphtheria and tetanus, this injection is given, DT. Okay, it's a dual antigen or combined antigen. The next one, TT, tetanus toxoid. So, this is given against bacteria, toxin of tetanus bacteria. TAB is a combined vaccine for typhoid, paratyphi A and paratyphi B. You know very well, typhoid. This also spreads due to the microbe because of drinking contaminated water. So for all these kind of diseases, vaccine is almost available and it is given and it is successfully going on. Right? So these are all the vaccinations. There is a separate immunization schedule given. Yeah, under various age group. Different age group should have different vaccines. This is a tabulation which is in your textbook, page number 269. For newborn baby, BCG vaccine is given as first dose. In 15 days, oral polio. 6th week, DPT and polio. DPT, you know what is the full form? DPT, tetanus, pertussis, diphtheria. D stands for diphtheria, P stands for pertussis, T stands for tetanus. That is DPT. So 6th week DPT and polio is given. 10th week again DPT and polio, first dose. 14th week again DPT and polio, first dose. Then 9 to 12 months measles. It's a viral infection. Okay, measles. As a first dose it is given. 18 to 24 months DPT as well as polio. As a first dose it is given. 15 months to 2 years MMR should be given. MMR, you know, mumps, measles and rubella vaccine. Then 2 to 3 years TAB. That is what? It is a combined vaccine for typhoid, paratyphi A and paratyphi B. And 4 to 6 years DT and polio. DT is what? Diphtheria and tetanus. 10th year TT and TAB is given as a first dose. 10th year TTT, tetanus toxoid and TAB, combined vaccine for typhoid, paratyphi A, paratyphi B. Both are given together as a first dose. and then 16th year TT and TAB second booster. In such a way, there is a separate schedule for the immunization. So, is the immunization necessary? If you ask me, definitely it's necessary. This act in our body and protect us from various diseases so that we can be prevented from any kind of diseases. With that, we come to the end of this lesson. Thank you.